Resonate with listeners of the San Diego community and communities beyond by sharing the stories of the creators and entrepreneurs we meet in order to discover the keys to unlocking our shared potential and inspiring others on how to develop themselves in order to live a more balanced life. This will in turn raise the community and ultimately inspire listeners to live a life of personal sovereignty and financial freedom. Before we begin, I'd kindly request that you hit the subscribe button, and if you like what you hear, give us a like and or comment down below. All feedback is welcome, and hit that notification bell for upcoming episodes. I would like to thank you for dropping in with us, and welcome to the Surf's Up Podcast. He is an account executive for iHeart Media, helping businesses in San Diego and across the country with their marketing strategies. In his free time, he is mostly consumed with board sports, whether it be surfing, skating, or snowboarding. This wholesome fellow is well-read, enjoys botany, and studies music theory. On certain Saturdays, you can catch him producing beats on the beach. Thanks for dropping in with us, and join me as I welcome the one, Scotty Mars.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me.
What's up, man? How you doing today?
I'm good, dude. Just chilling. Wrapping up a good weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super good weekend.
A little bit of sunshine, a little bit of surf.
Yeah.
All the essentials.
Really good surf.
It was. I mean, compared to how the past month has been, at least.
Yeah.
Not phenomenal, but it's better than the flat
Yeah.
pond we've had.
Truly, today was actually probably one of the best, sessions of surf I've had.
Nice. Do you bring the paddleboard out there? Or?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. The 8.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look sick on the river.
They were just these super wide, I don't know. I don't even
carry
know.
you forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just almost breaking for an hour.
No, it's for real though, right?
Yeah.
Like low tide, and you just get that solid
super
low
low
wave.
Yeah.
All the way in.
And you can just ride it, and it just wants to break.
It just gives you that nice push.
Yeah.
Where do you go usually?
Tourmaline.
Tourmaline? Nice.
Yeah, Tourmaline Surfing Park.
I haven't been.
Today I got there and it was pretty interesting. When I pulled in, there was 10 cars at the park, and I was like, dude, I don't even want to fool with this. So I went up to the point. Have you ever been to PB Point?
No, I've been lazy. I've just stayed in OB.
So if you cruise around to PB Point, there's some stairs, and you can walk down right there and get to the north end of the Tourmaline Surfing Park.
Cool.
And tremendous.
I've heard the name before. I've heard people talk about it.
And the water's warm again.
I know, dude. It was so cold for 2 or 3 weeks there.
I know. I took out a spring suit last week, and
my hands were numb. My hands and feet. A couple days we went out.
I was like, I'll be fine. I'm not a stranger to cold water. I took a spring suit and I was frozen. Yeah. So today I take the full suit out and it's nice and delicious. And I was like, dang it.
You barely even need any suit.
No, you didn't need a suit at all today. Yeah. It was bath water.
I went Friday. Same thing.
Yeah. Super nice.
Yeah,
and the dolphins are always there.
Really? I've seen them
at Tourmaline
twice in OB, but
Tourmaline, the dolphins are always there, and there's stingrays everywhere.
Oh yeah.
You literally can't step foot.
Have you gotten barbed before?
Never been barbed. But I've gotten a wiggle. I've gotten multiple wiggles.
You step on it and you feel that little flutter underfoot.
Yeah.
My old roommate got barbed twice within the first 8 months of us being here.
No way.
And yeah, I felt it. You just soak your foot all night until that shit comes out. But
every time I fall off the board, I just flatten out. I don't let my feet touch the water.
It's smart. I've come down a few times stomped, and I'm like, it'd be straight.
That's that's what I did on my first wave today. I jumped off the board and stomped on one. And I felt it wiggle out, and I was like, ah.
Yeah, right.
It's I'm not afraid of surfing or getting hurt.
No.
It's
It's
getting
just,
stung by a fucking
getting stung by
stingray.
pretty much anything is like something to be avoided.
Yeah. I mean, because there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I've seen someone bleeding like 50% of the time. I go to terminally. Like I walk up the beach and someone's like coming out of the water with blood, and I'm like,
well, and they have that bit of like poison too, or something that from what I've heard lingers and like stings for hours or days.
Yeah.
I'm like, not about that.
Yeah. And what's crazy is like you can't see them. Like they like blend straight into the sand. Right. They just like lay down, and
I've seen one.
Can't see them
for like on occasion. You can sometimes see an outline.
What's cool about the paddleboard is you can since I'm like up above the water, you can actually like see them swimming under you.
That's really
and
cool.
Like and I like you see schools of fish. Like you get a different perspective than when you're just surfing and you're kind of at water level. Yeah. So
I could see that.
And another thing about paddleboarding is you're always engaged. You're not just like sitting.
Just sitting waiting for.
Yeah. So I'm obsessed. Like the paddleboard has got me obsessed.
I've seen some dudes rip some like good size waves on a paddleboard, and I'm like, that looks pretty cool.
Mine's an 8.0.
Yeah, that's my wave storm too. I got my big foamy, and I got a short 6 foot that I'm still like learning on.
But I stand up on an 8.0. It's just really thick. Yeah, like a ton of liters. So yeah,
that's sick.
Super fun. So I did want to start off and let you put your Scotty Mars sticker on the table.
Yeah, I got
anywhere you want.
Got a bunch of these made, so I might as well use it. As soon as I got them made, though, I realized I'm like, this is just some random font that like I found on the internet. And
I love your sticker.
Thanks, man. I like it for sure, but I want to do.
You need to bring the flag to Renegade Sounds too.
The banner, maybe. See that? We can talk about that more in a second too. Anywhere on here?
Yeah, wherever you want.
Sick. You know I'm going by man.
Sick.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
Tight. Now, I got. What do you think this is? Probably like 30 more people.
yeah, 20 to 30 somewhere. To fill it all in nice.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
I have so many stickers. I could have already done this, but I kind of like that I left it, and now people can.
I like you have some local, some like personalized, some creative, like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But then also just some good brands.
I just like stickers. I'm a sticker fiend. I'm a collector of many things. Like I keep like coins and like all kinds of random stuff.
I know. I want to.
When I was a kid, I collected rocks.
Really?
And before I knew about like crystals or gems or any of that shit,
just some nice.
I was just like, this is a cool fucking rock. Like,
no, I'm the same way.
My mom still has like my rocks from when I was a kid.
It just feels good. I want to think and I want to like try to be a minimalist, but I'm not. I don't think I ever will be.
I think there's a good balance between like, there's like hardcore minimalism, and then there's like conscientious minimalism.
Or like it's still like having my little like rock collection.
Yeah.
Or like little stickers, things like mementos and that. But no, like I don't want like a clot like hundreds of like articles of clothing or like just total like.
I know. I'm constantly trying to purge stuff.
Yeah.
Constantly.
I've been getting better since I moved to California and just have been in smaller apartments than like back in the Northeast. Yeah, I've been trying to slow down on the buying things just to have things.
Yeah.
Everything's got to have a function.
I know consumerism will get you, but it's really interesting once you start like disciplining yourself to have less. You gain so much more perspective of what you have and value and the value that you have, with it.
That's like the biggest thing I think coming out of college and just kind of like reevaluating what's important and all that after there's no more structure to like your life, or my life at least, was realizing that like consuming shit, just buying things, or like I don't know, just trying to spend money doesn't actually make you happy. It's just like gratification. Yeah. But then after that's consumed, then you're just empty again. Yeah. So trying to like
it's just dopamine hit, serotonin hit, dopamine hit.
And not to say that that's not fun,
but it's unfounded. It's unfounded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And trying to do something that's like a part of you. Creating over consuming has been like the big focus of my life since.
Yeah. So that's a focus with this podcast is collaboration over competition. And
I love that.
Yeah, and so we can help each other grow as,
right.
I mean, as it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I wanted to also start off with your origin story, and
Sure.
I was wondering like where you're from,
Yeah.
and kind of like who is Scotty Mars?
For sure. I was born in Seattle, actually, so originally
Okay.
West Coast, but I spent most of my life growing up in Connecticut. School in Syracuse, New York.
Okay.
And worked in New York City right after that, just for a couple months, and I hated it, to be honest.
As a teenager?
No, like after college. So like I went to high school in Connecticut, went to Syracuse in upstate New York for college, and then right after that went down to Manhattan, started working there. And my second week, I knew like I had to get out of there, and I just felt the pull of like the West Coast forever. So went home, saved up, lived with my parents.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's like tantalizing.
Dude, it really is. And everyone, you're from the East Coast too,
I'm from Virginia, yeah.
Virginia, yeah.
Yeah, I visited here, and less than 11 months later, I got on a plane and moved here.
I swear to
God. Dropped
out
of school and everything.
Dude, I've met more people out here that are from the East Coast originally, like within the last 10 years that are just all transplants.
East Coast vibes on the West Coast is a special thing.
And dude, I love some East Coast
I love
vibes.
West Coast people, but
I love the East Coast vibes in certain ways too.
Yeah.
Like it toughens you up.
Yeah.
Like you talk even snowboarding. You know, I'm a big snowboarder. I moved out to Bear Mountain first to snowboard. Like that was like the sole focus of my move out. But I miss the East Coast.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of like, you know, there's a lot.
So when I moved out here, my best friend, he passed away. That's why I visited here. Is my best friend passed away, and he got me into snowboarding. I was a skier, and he made me transition to snowboarding.
Nice.
And so when I moved out here, I became the ski tech for Sports Chalet. And so I just got indoctrinated into snowboarding, and snowboarding became my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To the point I have like 8 snowboards now.
It's
absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, it's something that speaks to your soul. You know what I mean?
You were talking about that other podcast a minute ago, and like a big focus in that was like flow state.
Yeah.
Getting into that, like being fully present.
Yeah.
Dude, nothing does that like snowboarding.
Nothing.
For me at least, like board sports, the creative type of sports where it's like.
I'm just unlocking that with surfing now, because surfing's tough.
Surfing's really hard.
Surfing's tough, but the paddleboard makes it easier and more engaging, and I'm having a lot more fun with it, and not just work for 3 seconds of payoff.
Yeah,
it's like
takes a lot.
It's constant payoff when you're paddleboarding, and I've been enjoying it a lot more. But yeah, I agree. Like, snowboarding is like a paintbrush on the mountain. Like,
right, it really is. Like you're constantly just painting. That's a great analogy.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of that, but
you get to choose your own line.
And even once it's not so hard, especially once it's not so hard to like think about falling or anything. Yeah, once you get rid of the rational part of your brain, like
once you're past the fear and everything,
it's just pure creativity,
pure flow
the entire time.
And I used to just be like all into like bombing hills and like everything like that, and like now, like it's interesting. I started riding with my boss at Sports Chalet, Frank, and he likes to make a lot of turns. I would just bomb, and he liked to make like as many turns as possible. So I started following him and like learning how to ride in control, and like really like not just like bombing until like I came to something sketchy and then like sliding out, you know.
Yeah.
But like really like honing my skills, and now I enjoy technical stuff just as much as I like bombing. I think like there's so many aspects. You know what I mean?
I taught lessons at a few mountains over 6 seasons.
Oh yeah, which mountains?
Back in Connecticut, this little mountain, Mount Sullyton.
Okay.
And I did a little like part-time help work, like unofficial, off the record, at Smuggler's Notch in Vermont too. But
so, are you more of a park rat or a powder hound?
So if I had the powder out here, I'd probably be more.
You haven't experienced the powder yet?
No, I have. I lived up in Big Bear for 3 years. Okay. It's just Southern California.
You had Big Bear powder.
3 days later, it's either
you haven't
crusted concrete or
you haven't had Mammoth. You haven't had Jackson.
I've been to Mammoth. I got one good dump at Mammoth, like 3 feet, up to your knees. Yeah. Like and it's sick. Don't get me wrong.
I love Mammoth.
To me, there's so much work involved in like the day of that. You're right. Like a good powder line is untouchable. That's better than anything with the park, whatever. Yeah. But it's like you can go all day and get like 4 or 5 of those, whereas I can lap the park 5 days a week and just get every single run as good a bear. Like,
of course.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Quantity over quality, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But still pretty good quality.
Have you ever hiked?
Yeah, we hiked after Bear closed a couple years when I was up there. We'd hike up like Sugarloaf Mountain, which is like 5-10 minutes away driving.
Yeah.
Hike up there and a couple miles over and then ride down Bear.
Yeah. Yeah, we like to like take the gondola up to the top of Mammoth, nice. And then we drop down the backside out of bounds, and then we hit what's it called, Tamarack Lodge, and then we hike around the Sherwin's Range. That's and gnarly. Then do that.
That's a lot of hiking. I mean, like, I love Mammoth, but it's a big mountain.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a pretty easy. Yeah. It's pretty easy hike. You do it. It's all boot pack, and you can take a split board if you want, but you really don't need to. Yeah. Honestly. Well, so
you get that California concrete. I think somebody called it.
Yeah. People say that, and I've experienced it, but I've also experienced some straight fluff in Mammoth. So,
dude, no disrespect to Mammoth. It's like I know it's like the best mountain in the country, pretty much. But
gets the most snowfall.
Well, if you like Park too, I mean, their park is so solid.
It is a snowboarder's mountain. It is definitely a snowboarder's mountain.
But you have the space there that you don't have at Bear to like really get off on your.
Bear's nothing like, in comparison.
No. Yeah. What I love about Bear is that you have.
Have you experienced anything bigger than Mammoth?
I went to Whistler when I was like 13 with my folks. Oh, okay. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing recently.
Well, soon enough we'll make a trip.
Dude, for real.
Yeah.
Not for another 8 years. I can't go to Canada. Sorry.
Well, we don't have to go to Canada.
Not Whistler.
We can hit Colorado or
Jackson Hole.
I've been to Jackson.
Yeah, there's a bunch that are on my list for sure.
Yeah.
But
Taos, New Mexico.
I haven't heard.
13,000 feet.
Oh shit.
When a southern storm hits, Taos is the place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some even like I know near Flagstaff there's a pretty good mountain too.
Yeah.
And I think New Mexico, like you get some that are pretty far south.
Yeah.
And it's trippy. You get off the bottom of the mountain, kind of like Bear.
Yeah.
It's like sunshine. You can just wear a t-shirt.
That's how Taos is. Yeah. It's so big. It's huge.
And are you familiar with like Mount Hood at all?
Yeah.
Up in like Oregon? Like,
yeah. I've never been, but
I have a bunch of friends that like work up there in the summers and so jealous. You just like get to ride in t-shirts. It's like bright sunny and you're just snowboarding all summer. It's the dream. It was the dream until I started my shoulder started. I have like a recurring dislocated shoulder.
Yeah.
It just started popping out all the time when I was my last year up in Bear, and I still love snowboarding, but I'm not like hucking backflips every day now.
Yeah, I snapped my femur a couple years ago. Shit. That's why I quit the park.
Yeah. Big injuries will do it too. When you're like, I realize that
I will take the powder and the fun, like, and the work ethic with like hiking and like.
And you can still.
I will take that reward over clearing a jump.
Yeah.
Any day.
No, I don't hit big jumps like bigger than like 30 feet anymore. Or if I do, I'll just like straight air. But I mean, I used to like spin like 3s and 5s off like 30, 40 footers. And,
no, I was learning kickers and snapped my femur, and I was like, no, not for me.
No,
I'm good. I love drops though. Cliff drops. That's my favorite.
You get some. Even Barra has some pretty good like. When the snow's good, when it's there, and there's enough, like the woods are fun, and there's some good drops in there. Mammoth too, obviously, but soon enough, dude. I mean, we're halfway back to the winter. This last winter got cut short, but
I know I got 5 days on the mountain last year, and I like barely paid off my pass.
I was like driving up to Bear. I was going up to Bear, and they shut down Bear the day that
I was there.
That
Thanksgiving?
Last day? Oh no. The start of quarantine. They like shut.
Did you hear about Thanksgiving?
No. What do you mean?
It was so much snow that they closed the road. You couldn't even get into Big Bear. No, I got stuck up there. And I didn't have a hotel, so I had to like sleep in my car in like a fucking snowstorm. It was crazy.
That is so sketch.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Back to the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. So you started you're from Connecticut.
I moved Connecticut.
So we need to go snowboarding together. That's what we learned.
For sure. That's like the main point of that tangent right there. No, but Connecticut's awesome. It's like a great place to raise a family. Like it's nice and it's like, your typical like New England shit. Like when I play lacrosse, you just like all that boring shit, and I'm just like you just kind of float through life until you graduate high school or college, and then you're like, what do I actually want to do? And I just wanted to snowboard.
Yeah.
So I just came out here.
It's addicting.
Dude, it really is. But once I was out here too, like I thought I wanted to go to LA, and then I visited LA a few times, and I realized like I hated almost everyone I talked to out there. Just like the general vibe.
For sure.
Head up your ass, like
San Diego and LA got two different vibes,
dude. Oh, and then I came down to San Diego one time, and I was like, these are my people. Like this is where I want to be. But yeah, I came down here, and here I am. And I knew I wanted to do something with music too.
So when did you move? Like what?
Oh, so I moved May 1st of last year of 2019.
From Connecticut?
No, sorry. I moved on New Year's 2017.
Okay.
Up to Big Bear. So I was there for like 2.5 years, and then I came down, or almost 2.5 years, and then came down here last May.
Okay.
I was doing like timeshare marketing at the time, setting up those timeshare meetings.
Or not MLM, but yeah, timeshare marketing. I got you.
Yeah. It's
only
not quite as bad as MLM, but
it.
It's pretty shitty. Yeah. I wasn't actually selling them, but I would set up meetings for people to do it.
It doesn't fit you at all.
No, dude.
Knowing the person you are, like.
The thing is, though, like up in Big Bear, you either work in real estate, which I was like a tangent of that, or you own your own business, or you work minimum wage. And Syracuse was not a cheap school, so like I pay more in loans every month, that and car, which I'm done with now, but like I pay more in my loans altogether than I do in rent. Like, still, so I can't work a minimum wage job and like survive, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
So you gotta do the sales thing because it pays. But at least what I do is legit. Like business to business sales are.
Life is sales.
You're right. No matter what you're doing, you're selling something. At least when I call people up,
Brian Tracy.
Email, like at least people know I'm a salesman. You know what I mean? Instead of like pretending that you're not selling shit, I guess. But yeah, it is what it is.
That's interesting. You were kind of forced into it.
Well, I just, sophomore, junior year of college, I'd done a sales internship going into my junior year, and I made a decent amount of money. I was like, this is fun, like advertising sales too, marketing shit. And I'm like, it's kind of fun. You just go around and talk to people. You help people out with their business, and it pays really well. And it's not like I need to study coding or like any hard skills, which I kind of wish I had now. But yeah, it's unfortunately some life journeys like mine, like you need to have a certain amount of income to survive, at least till for another 10 years till I pay them off, and just trying to figure out what I really want to do in the meantime.
Well, honestly, selling yourself in anything you do, not selling a product or selling timeshares or whatever, but you're always trying to put your best foot forward. I mean, not everybody is, but ideally you would want to be, so that kind of leads into, do you have any aspirations to do like an entrepreneurial venture with your DJing or
potentially with music? I mean,
potentially
since
with
I've been
music?
In high school, like I've always seen myself like owning my own business or whatever, like not working for a paycheck, my whole life. I know a lot of people probably say that, but no, with music, this whole started, I've been wanting to like make music, like write songs and stuff since I tried playing guitar when I was a kid. I tried playing drums for a few years, used to jam with my friends back in Connecticut. I've always wanted to like make music, but I didn't start really like learning music theory, learning piano, producing music like I am now until like a year ago.
Wow.
A year and a half. Quarantine like just kicked it up. Double time, because now I'm not working,
got time,
getting paid to sit around. I've just those 4 months of that
time to create.
Yeah, dude, I dug into like piano lessons, into like everything production wise, and it's a ton of fun.
And COVID-19 creation time,
dude. It really was like I hope everyone out there who got laid off from work or found themselves without
isn't just sitting there.
If money's not an issue, like I hope that everyone works towards something that matters to them. Not for a paycheck. But no,
that's what I'm doing. Like I really want to be financially free and have my personal sovereignty in lock, so that I always know that I got me. You know what I mean? And I don't have to rely on a job or a boss or a company or the government or any of that shit. Right. Like, you know what I mean?
And don't get me wrong, like I know we've talked about that before, like I'm not doing this music stuff to make
for
money.
The money.
And a lot of people do go out there and start with like, I want to go play shows and make money.
No, you do it for the love of it.
Yeah, dude. Like,
but you're
fucking love music.
You do it for the love of it. You're gonna make some money.
I mean, like,
because people are gonna recognize your passion.
Yeah,
and because it resonates. People relate, and that's what I hope for this podcast is that you find the relatability to the people I bring on, because there's just a disconnect from all these podcasts with like millionaire talking to millionaire,
right?
where they've already made it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and they have a lot of good advice. I've drawn tons of knowledge from all the podcasts and audiobooks that I listen to.
Yeah.
However, it wasn't until I started seeing creative friends and entrepreneurs and people around me in the party scene and just out in the surf and like in the mountains that I started to realize like how awesome people really are. You know what I mean? Like the everyday man, like there's so many fucking cool people out there.
There are.
And that are really
That's
interesting.
True. And even folks that
it intrigues me.
Folks that don't talk about their day jobs first and foremost when they describe what they do, which I think is awesome. Like, you know, if somebody asks you what you do, I don't think that your first and only answer should be what gives you a paycheck in terms of like what makes you a person. But in terms, real quick too, and you were talking about like audiobooks and that sort of thing. What's your go-to like genre for reading or
for personal development? I'm right now. I'm reading the Bhagavad Gita. It's hard to say. It's a Hindu text.
Okay.
And then Joe Dispenza. I've been just sucking up that stuff. Have you ever heard of Joe Dispenza? No. So he talks about manifesting from the quantum realm and doing like Kundalini style meditation where you get heart and brain coherence so that you can literally just start manifesting and healing yourself, but you have to do the internal work.
Right.
I also have been doing some of what's that guy's name? Wim Hof. I've been doing the Wim Hof method of breathing too a little bit.
Right.
And it's pretty psychedelic.
Is that the dude that like goes out and
he's the Ice
sits
Man
in the snow? Yeah. That's crazy.
So on Wim Hof, we're going to take a break.
For sure.
And we'll be right back. And we're back.
Once we're again.
So we were talking about basically like meditation practices, and you asked me what...
what you've been like reading up on mostly?
Dude, I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't read one book at a time anymore. I used to, and now I tend to read 4 books in sequence.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Read a couple chapters one day in one book and then another book the next day and like.
Yeah. It's kind of what feels right for the moment.
Yeah.
Right now I'm on Limitless by Jim Quick. It teaches you how to learn and teaches you how to read better.
That's cool.
This guy is like, between Jim Quick and Joe Dispenza, like those guys got the keys to the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Truly.
I like your reading up on Stoicism too.
Yeah, Ryan Holiday's The Daily Stoic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love philosophy and all that. I read a lot of like existentialism and
this book is really cool. Have you ever seen it?
No.
So it's one day at a time. So it's dated. So there's like August 6th. So you just read for that day.
That's pretty cool.
And it has like a quote from Marcus Aurelius and then like an excerpt from the author. And that's just one a day, 366 pages, which is interesting because this year is a leap year. So you actually get
an extra with that.
I actually got to read the 29th day this year.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, we went skydiving on leap day this year.
Dude, I saw that certificate.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to. That's like the only adrenaline activity I haven't checked off the list yet.
I want to do it years ago. I really want to get certified, actually.
You have to do like 125, I think.
No, it's so they're AFF 1 through 7. It's like $1,500. You gotta do. They take you up and you do like your first one tandem, then maybe like 1 or 2 tandem, and then what they do is they jump out with you, and there's one guy on the right side, one guy on the left side, and they pull your chute for you, and they show you how to check your watch, but they do it all for you. And then like the third one, you like check your watch, but they throw your chute.
Okay.
And
you
then
slowly get closer to doing it on your own.
Exactly.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And they work your way up to 7 where they're flying beside you, but you do everything.
Okay, that's not so bad. I think the 100 plus I'd heard was for a wingsuit, which is like that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's pretty
makes
cool.
a lot more sense.
Dude, I mean, getting that I think there's a reason you don't see a lot of dudes doing that.
Yeah.
That's like heavy duty.
So I'm actually going to have a guest on here, a guy that used to be a GoPro
really?
Squirrel shooter. Yeah.
Dude, that's like, if it wasn't for
I don't
my
know if he was for
shoulder,
he wasn't for the GoPro team, but he's done the squirrel suit. And yeah, I was the ski tech, and that was another interesting job where I get to, so I worked at a bar, you get to meet interesting people. I was a ski tech, and I got to meet people that got money and like to go skiing are interesting people,
for sure.
Typically. And this guy just so happened to be a skydiver, and that's someone I really want to have on and get his story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, by all means, that'd be fucking sick.
So let's get back to your story.
For sure. Where we at? Coming down to San Diego.
Yeah.
We talk about like Renegade Sounds at all?
Yeah.
What we're doing? Because I mean, you're a part of that now.
Yeah.
You guys getting that battery, like helping us out.
Yeah.
So the whole.
We gotta go pick it up tomorrow or something.
Dude, you fucking huge. Like I can't tell you how much.
So tell us a little bit about Renegade Sounds and what it is.
So Renegade Sounds, I started with my boy James Hippolyte.
And it's Renegade Sounds. It's on Instagram.
On Instagram, it's Renegade Sounds Events. Renegade Sounds is already taken. Go figure.
Gotcha.
But basically the idea behind that, when I first moved down here, I didn't know anyone like in the bass scene, and there's not a lot of bass heads in San Diego compared to to New York City.
There are, but it's not like the house scene here.
Dude, Southern California is so house and techno heavy, and like I don't hate those genres. Like it's nothing against it. It's just
I know
I don't
stunned
understand,
me
like,
too.
The like massive hype. I'll dance at a festival. Like I'll get down at a good show of it, but like I just don't understand like your whole lifestyle around that. But it's cool.
I agree.
I know some people don't understand our music either. Music's like the most subjective thing, you know.
But then also on the other side of things, a lot of the house heads feel like the bass heads are just like dubstep heads, and they're not.
Dude, there's so much more. Like
the bass genre is so vast.
The song I'm gonna give you too, like is like that. It's not dubstep at all.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much music that is like down tempo and like not dancing music at all. But yeah.
Have you ever heard of Vibe Street?
Dude, I love Vibe Street. Yeah.
I was jamming to that today.
The best sampler remixer. That
Vibe Street, Daily Bread, like dude, that's my jam right now.
Until Derek comes back.
Derek comes back. Yeah, pretty. Come on, Pretty Lights.
Dude, I think one day. I mean, he's getting sober. He's getting cleaned up. Like, everybody's got.
I think I saw the last show.
I saw you had that. That was August
10th and 11th. August 10th and 11th.
2018.
Yeah. I
think that might have been it.
Yeah, the 10-year anniversary at Red Rocks. Truly epic.
Dude,
truly epic.
I didn't see him in all of 2018, and it's like if you knew it was gonna be the last time, like would have taken advantage, you know.
Yeah.
But not to get too sidetracked again, but
yeah.
So
it's okay.
It happens. We're good. I have ADD. I've been off Adderall.
I'm okay. I'm okay with it.
So it happens. But I moved down here and I meet some people here and there, whatever, surfing, but I didn't know any bass heads. So I went to a couple of like the artist Facebook groups that I followed and just kind of asked like anyone in San Diego, talked to a few people on there, and I had just gotten into mixing like 4, 5, 6 months before then.
Yeah.
And was getting a big speaker, and I was like just really wanting to like go listen to some loud bass music that wasn't like trashy dubstep that you get at like Basement Club.
Yeah.
You know, all the shitty shows that play around San Diego.
Yeah.
So I hit a few people up, tried to get some heads together on the beach, and probably had a good like 15 people come down, 15, 20, somewhere in there. But this one dude met up early and was like this setup that you have here, just like beach hangout for like bass heads, like I've been wanting to do this forever. He had like a network of friends there, people that were into the scene and had equipment, gear, like generators, PA systems, and knew those kind of people. So he really wanted to start setting this up as a regular event thing. We did the first Renegade Sounds last Halloween on the beach, which was solid. We had full PA system. Like we were bumping down by SeaWorld, like a mile away from any houses, and we ended up getting a noise complaint at like 1 a.m. Like it was honestly overkill on the speakers, but
how do you get a noise complaint on Halloween?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It was on the 31st, and it was.
Come on.
We were on mission
at
Bay.
1 a.m.
I don't even know from
Not
where.
Not 4 a.m.
Like it could have been
fucked up.
Dude, I honestly don't even know where anyone was hearing that, because like the highway was in between. Like I don't know, but yeah, it was a good time until then. The only like I don't know. The only downside to that with a system that big is we had to go so remote.
Yeah.
And it's like hard to set up it couldn't be the weekly or bi-weekly thing that we're doing now with like that much of a setup and a big gas generator. So I wanted to take it this year back to more of just a mobile, like quick setup that we can do anywhere with like 20 to 50 people, you know, just like have little bass get downs. And ended up getting some gear with other friends like yourself, you know,
and you got like Kat with the art, and the other I can't remember the other homie with the art. What's his name? Anthony.
Yeah, he's at Groovy Ways. I'll plug him, and Kat's art at Jungle Cat. Like they're both just
Cat L at Cat.
Cat Ellis. She has her like art page too. It's like Jungle Cat without
Jungle
an E.
Cat.
Jungle without an E. Cat.
Yeah.
But
love you, Cat.
they're both love you, Cat, and you, Anthony. They're both dope people, and like they're just the kind of people too that like I've just been wanting to meet. Just people that focus on like outside of like their paycheck, just want to make art, just want to create and like collaborate with people. And like,
how'd you meet Tim?
Tim, I met. He's my good friend Katie, who ended up getting the second JBL that let us really like set this up.
Gotcha.
Her roommate.
Katie.
Is Tim. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. I love Tim. Yeah. I met him at Minnesota and instant connection.
Other Tim. Sorry, we have a couple Tims in our group. That Tim. No, I met that Tim met Katie though. Same Katie.
Yeah.
Through one of like the music Facebook groups too. It all comes back together, man. The internet, just social media.
Music is it transcends time and it connects people
like nothing else.
Dude,
if I meet someone and they're wearing like a Pretty Lights, honestly, or still a fucking Bass Nectar hat, like they're just like we have that fucking connection, like instantly, like I know you're good people, you know.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
I have met some sketch balls for sure, but like it's a good intro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, more so than anything else.
For sure.
But yeah, you came down to the last two Renegade sounds that we've been doing, and like it's weird with COVID. We're trying to keep distant, trying to not blow it up to like last Halloween we had a good like 50-60 people.
I think you're okay. I think Wednesday nights and OB.
Dude, that was so much. You went this last week?
Yeah.
It was so bad.
They have all the attention on them. Don't worry. Renegade Sounds is off the radar completely.
It is. And I want to keep it that way. The farmers market was like, it was bad.
This lady.
It was so packed.
This lady came driving up the street like a mad woman, ran her car into a motorcycle and knocked it over, and then got out of her car, looked at it, got back in her car, and drove off. And everybody was like,
everybody watched her.
Fuck? I tried to get her license plate. I couldn't get it, but.
Dude, people are wild around there.
Yeah.
And it's cool to watch. Like, I love going down and watching the fire spinners.
A white lady with long blonde hair and a Chevrolet Cavalier. She hit a motorcycle last Wednesday. Report her.
Exactly. But yeah, dude, that COVID's hard, man. Like, I'm trying to be good. I want to help people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want people to die and shit, but it's hard because everyone needs a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
You know, you can't keep everyone locked in your house for years on end, what it looks like now. So we're all trying to like find a way to like live somewhat
I called
normal
2
life.
months and it eased up in 2 months, but it ain't over.
No, dude. And I honestly,
I don't know.
I was just talking with my roommate about this yesterday. I think in some ways it's going to be like 9/11 in airports. It's never going back to normal.
No.
It'll get a little more relaxed. People, you won't think about it as much.
Yeah.
It's never going to be the same.
Never will be the same.
Life will never go back to this same. The biggest thing I'm worried about is festivals. Like, I don't know how we're gonna have.
It's not even that. Like, for me, is shows. I just got my my passport to start traveling, and you literally can't travel now. Like, I mean, you can, but most places won't accept. Like I was gonna go to Argentina for Eclipse in December, and Argentina just shut their doors. So
it sucks.
And Eclipse is still taking money, because they're still putting on the festival whether people can get there or not. So
that's wild.
It's just like just losing money and not gonna be able to go.
Dude, you know how what I think the world is turning to though.
It's
small and local.
It is becoming tribalistic in nature.
I'm honestly,
and I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, I'm kind of for it. Like,
but I did plan to travel the world in the next few years. So it's kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's a different negative point.
Yeah,
for sure. I feel for you on that.
It has been very nice. What's crazy is people still want to party, but people party, and then it's people wind down by like 1, 2 o'clock. There's no more of this. There is, but there's way less of this 4 or 5 a.m. shit.
Dude, there's also not a need to.
There's just no need to.
The one thing that
you're partied out, you had a good time, and you're gonna go home.
And setting up has showed me, like on the beach, like by the
time you set up, have fun.
By the time like you're nearing the end of the night, you're getting tired and shit, man. Like I'm drinking all day, and then I gotta like put a bunch of shit away. I'm not trying to be there till like midnight, like 2 a.m. on the beach cleaning up my shit. You know what I mean? Like. I don't know. And personally for me, like, sorry if this is whack, but I've started having more fun in the daylight. Like, I've never before woken up, like, not for work at, like, 6, 7 a.m. And I fucking love it. Go take care of my plants outside. I just, like, read, like...
What kind of plants do you grow?
Oh, dude, I got a good garden going. I have limited space on a balcony, like, second floor apartment. Yeah. But our neighbors are super cool. They were like, just build it out as much as you want. We got some small pumpkins, watermelons, a bunch of different herbs. Cherry tomato plant, red corn. I got a big giant corn stalk growing right now. It looks pretty cool. Like, what else we got? Some cucumbers,
That's
jalapenos.
Awesome.
Dude, I mean, a good amount. Yeah.
All organic?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I got a couple, like, what do you call those? Not fungicides. To keep, like, bugs off, like organic bug sprays, whatever, spray on them. But yeah, it's pretty natural. We've started harvesting a few radishes and all that stuff. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
But dude, there's something for me that
taking care of anything is good for you.
Yeah. Something about
dog,
like just
a plant,
raising something. It makes you feel it's like the creative process.
Well, because you care about it makes you like double check yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't be fucked up till 5 a.m. sleeping in all day and like let your plants die, your cat, your dog, whatever. Like, a little bit of responsibility.
I had a chance to get a dog a couple months ago, and I've been regretting it that I didn't pull the trigger on it. It for one, money wasn't right at the time. There was just things not right at the time, and the dog. I want a big dog, and it was a medium-sized dog. Yeah. It was cute as fuck, but I don't know. I just really want a big dog.
Me too.
You know, if I'm gonna commit to a dog. It's gonna, gotta be a big dog.
I don't have anything like against little dogs, but big dogs. It's just.
I like to wrestle with them.
Dude, they're just every big dog I've
to be
ever
honest,
met.
I'm like Kelso.
I've never met like an annoying big dog, like that I can think of off the top of my head. I've met mostly annoying little dogs.
But
like, you know what I mean? I feel like big dogs are just, they're like chiller. They're like, you know why? Because they're secure. They're confident in themselves. They go, I know, like relative to other dogs, I'm like. I can like handle myself.
I'm gonna be okay.
Little dogs are insecure as shit.
Yeah.
It's like little people. That's why they just yell and run their fucking mouth. And
yeah.
You know, you gotta overcompensate somehow.
Yeah. For sure.
But yeah.
So you work for iHeart Radio.
Yeah, the company that owns iHeart Radio. So iHeart Media, but I do marketing for like businesses. The opposite of the timeshare stuff, where I'm just like. I don't ever want to sell to like people again. Like I don't like putting pressure on that. Yeah. So I call up other businesses.
Let them make the. You know, some of the best ways to do sales, like when I worked at Sports Chalet, is like I was like, I'm not getting paid commission. I'm getting paid hourly. So I'm just gonna go show all these people what I would buy, and if they don't want to buy it, and whatever.
And offer genuine. I'm not saying that.
Genuine advice.
You're a bad person to do B2C sales. Like by no means at all. It's just. A lot
there
of it,
is a shitty way of doing it, and there is a genuine way.
And when it's commission based, like a lot is, you get your incentivized
high pressure sales
to pressure people to sell more because that will sell directly more. Like when you don't have repeat customers. Yeah. B2B, I do a lot of like monthly subscription kind of stuff. Like clients for years on end. So like, you really do want to like do what's best for people. Like you're actually out to help people, which is a good feeling for sure. It's not the most exciting thing ever doing, radio and digital marketing and all that, but it's cool. I mean, it's as cool as any other job I could see myself getting into. If I could go back to school,
I'm sure you've learned a lot too.
Dude, yeah.
Doing it.
I mean, to be honest, I was almost a psych major. I was a psych minor instead.
I was a psych major, switched to media studies, dropped out of school, moved to California.
Dude, you paralleled, like your studies were a lot what I was doing. Yeah. I mean, media and stuff and everything communications and marketing side.
Yeah, I learned Photoshop. I learned how to make a website.
Hell yeah.
Forgot about how to do all of it. And now I've decided I'm going to go start a website and a podcast and everything. And I didn't own a computer. I had a computer, but I didn't touch it for like 4 years. Yeah. And just last year I was like, all right, I want to go make money from a computer. And I was like, this sounds crazy, but I'm tired of working labor jobs, and I'm gonna figure out how to take this screen and these buttons and go make a living with my mind and not my body, because I just ran my body into the ground, dude.
Tell me about that though, because I'd heard from one of our mutual friends that you do like cryptocurrency.
Yeah. So I learned. So I'm a podcast entered my life at a dark time, and I started listening to podcasts, right? And then podcasts led to audiobooks, like different people on the audiobooks. And then eventually, when you start like learning things, then you start having questions. And then those questions, you don't know where to answer them. You don't know where to look in the book exactly, to find the answers you're looking for. So you go to YouTube. Right. You know what I mean? And so I became a YouTube fanatic. So that's kind of my cycle, is music, podcast, audiobook, YouTube. And YouTube opened a huge door for me and made me realize how many really interesting people are in this world making money just because they film their life.
Yep.
Basically.
I got a friend. You ever heard of Casey Willax? He does like snow, skate, surf. Like I think he's done with it now, but he had been doing daily vlogs for like a couple years.
Those daily vlog guys are wild.
So sick. And he gets free gear and GoPros and all that shit, and probably makes more money than I do now, just because you
That's
build up
one thing
following.
I'm learning to do with this is I'm gonna start doing affiliate marketing. So I'm gonna include links for these mics, because I wanted to set up that eventually I can take surfs up on the road. So I didn't want big heavy mics and XLR cables and like the full get up. This setup right here weighs probably
15 pounds,
maybe probably less, probably 10 pounds or less than even that. It's all 3.5 millimeter cords. This thing weighs nothing. These weigh nothing. These were $12.
Camera's the heaviest.
These were $12 each. These were $40 each. So this is about $100. This was $120. This is like $230 for the audio.
Yeah.
And then the camera, my parents gave me for Christmas. It was like $500, but you can get a T5i for probably like $300 now. I would say.
They're so cheap.
Yeah.
I saw that at
probably less.
At like Target or Best Buy or
and then the lights I got for $120 for 2 lights.
That's what I need too. I've been doing my streams. I haven't done them in a while now, but music streams too.
Yeah.
And like getting the lighting right's hard.
Yeah. Those Neewer, Neewer on Amazon. Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
If I start getting back into those, we'll see. Dude, the Renegade sounds just makes that seem so obsolete. Like, doing it for 10, 12 of my friends back home compared to like 15, 20 people on the beach.
I know. I like have not looked, like I've just left my crypto alone since I've really like I had the idea for Surf's Up last year, and I just wasn't taking it seriously. And then I had a friend that I interviewed in February, and then I did like one in April and May. And then I had a friend at the end of June. I had like basically written it off, abandoned it. And then I had a friend, and we sat down and watched one of my episodes, and he's like, dude, this is good. And like I realized I'm my own worst critic. Like, perfectionism is a cancer sometimes.
Dude, for sure.
It really stops you from like achieving your best self. You know what I mean? And it drives me nuts.
You like self-improvement and like productivity kind of things?
Yeah. But I get hung up on being perfect.
Have you heard of Ill Gates? You know who he is? Like producer, DJ?
Huh? Ill
Gates.
Ill Gates. Yeah.
So he has like his producer dojo, awesome like trainer for Ableton and all types of like music production. But he has his original like seminar on music like workflow productivity called Illanthropy, I think, or like the Illanthropic method or something like that. If you Google it, dude, one of the best like 30 minutes on how to like structure the creative process that you will ever hear. Like for this,
I'm gonna look that up.
I would like highly recommend that to anyone out there. He says too, like at the beginning, like it's based around music production and how he gives the examples, but you can apply it to any creative process.
I don't know if it's what you're talking about, but I kind of developed this idea.
It's of finishing things and moving on.
basically I called it so like HIIT training, like high intensity interval training. I called it HILT training, high intensity learning training. Nice. And basically what I did was I had my journals out, I had my computer out, and then I had something else out, like whatever other project. And basically because I have ADD too. I feel like I was never diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure. And so I would like have one thing and then I would get an idea for the other thing, but I would force myself to finish the task at hand, the next 5 minutes, and then move to the second thing. And I just bounced around my room one night and I just got like so much accomplished on 3 different projects. Yeah. And I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but it's just something I kind of discovered that worked for me.
I've had diagnosed ADD for years, and it is like that. It's having a ton of passion for something. Yeah. Like I'll like write shit down in the middle of the night. I'm like, I got to make this, whatever. Yeah. Buying a bunch of gear to like start something, like say a podcast, working really hard at it for a couple weeks, and then losing all interest and like starting something else in the same way. Yeah. No, the workflow thing was more like setting up time segments of like, for like writing a song, be like, I'm only going to spend this much time on the melody, and like stop whatever you have, just go to the next thing, like finish a song in 4 hours and then move on to the next thing. So it keeps you from being a perfectionist, and like you end up learning more. You end up not only creating more, but like you learn more through repetition of like the entire process instead of just getting hung up on one piece at a time.
So we're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back with Scotty Mars.
For sure.
And we're back.
Once again.
So we were talking about basically like the high intensity interval learning training.
I like that. Yeah. You got to like, not, I guess I wouldn't
HILT
that, but yeah, you got to put that to a book.
I literally put it, I wanted to. I put it in my journals. Like it's something I really want to dig more into and refine and see if it's like really a thing, or if I'm just,
if it's like just a short burst of mania.
And it worked for a night, or if it could really be a thing. Yeah. Like having 2 projects or 3 projects, but just like focus on this one, but you don't have to focus on this one for hours.
Just like an hour.
Yeah. Like, or no, what it is you focus on it until like if something triggers for the other project, don't be afraid to move to the other project, but finish whatever task you're on right then. Okay. You know what I mean? Like the task within the project.
But follow your distractions.
And then exactly. Huh. Follow your distractions.
See
and that way you're not getting on to yourself and beating yourself up for being distracted. Right. You're just letting it flow.
That's interesting because I do the opposite. Like, when I get distracted, I just like try changing, like continuing to work on what I'm working on until I can get it done.
Yeah, you're like forcing the focus. So this was, like I said, I got the idea from high intensity interval training, and it worked for me that night, and it was really fun.
Dude, yeah, and you know what? If you're having fun in the process, that's like the most important thing.
And that's when you're most creative.
I think you need to. For me too, there's a certain level of like, you need to be relaxed. I think. Yeah. I find like when I'm like tense, it makes it hard to work during the week when I'm like working day job kind of shit too. Just, you finish work, right? And you're like, oh good, I have some free hours now. But I'll be so like wound up from like making calls or like finishing proposals or whatever. Yeah. That it's hard to like relax into
actually like chill. Yeah. I'm like that too. Like my friends like picked me up last night and they were like ready to party and hang out and and I was still like, I had just gotten done like editing a video that took way longer than I wanted to, and like putting everything on YouTube, putting everything on Spotify, and I was just like full technical brain, and I was just like,
you can't slip.
I wasn't even angry. Like I wasn't angry or mad or like frustrated. It was just my brain was in that mode,
dude, and
where the relax was not. It wasn't a thing,
right. Well, I mean, you have.
It took hours.
For a reason, I mean. What? Like, I'm saying you have different states for a reason. Yeah. Because you to work for hours on something, you need to be in that like the high intensity performance mode. Yeah. Right?
And it's like it has to do with your brainwave patterns. Alpha brainwaves, beta brainwaves, gamma brainwaves. Right now, what I love learning about is neuroscience.
That's cool.
It is absolutely fascinating. And like the fact that neuroscientists now are bringing it to the common people, it's just wild, because you start like learning how your brain, what it's doing up there, you know,
dude, and it's
what the subconscious is doing, because the subconscious is your program.
Well, we still don't know a ton about all of that stuff in your brain too. Like
we're getting there though.
They're learning more and more. I've heard it's like we know more about like the ocean than we do about what's inside the human brain, or something along those lines. Like it's like sleep too. I remember I talked about this.
That's a hard like comparison, but I hear what you're saying,
dude. I'm just saying, even though they can figure out like, of course, like the neurobiology behind your brain, like understanding consciousness and all that. Yeah, like
I'm telling you, look up Joe Dispenza.
Joe Dispenza.
I think this guy's got
him in Newer Lights. I got those tucked away.
Yeah. And Jim Quick, this guy. Yeah. If you want to like learn how the mind works,
we got to trade some books at some point. I got a pretty good like library built up in my apartment.
For sure. I mainly audiobook, but this one I pre-ordered because it has like exercises in it and stuff like that. So that's cool. Yeah. And then Rich Dad Poor Dad was really the thing that helped inspire this podcast, and moving people from the employee quadrant of making money to either you really don't want to be a specialist either, because you're still an employee at that point, but you want to be as business owner or an investor to start accruing real wealth.
The problem with investing is you need money to start with. For most cases, obviously you can work stocks or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. But there are avenues of which, investor you have to work up to. Yeah, it's a ladder.
I can't have tens of thousands of dollars in college loan debt and become an investor right now responsibly. Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
Dude, I want to be a business owner at some point. Yeah, for sure. It's just I have an idea I've been working out.
What's your idea?
I want, roughly, not to get too far in the weeds, but like you know, with quarantine, how there's been kind of a pickup in people gardening and kind of learning how to like live on their own. Yeah, I think like we've never been in a more apocalyptic state since like the start of the Cold War. At least, you know, with that the possibility of normal civilization.
We're in a Cold
collapsing.
War. We're in a cold information war with China.
Yeah. I mean, that's true.
We're in a technological.
We're in a cold civil war in the country.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like the way people talk online all over the place. I want to kill each other.
For one, I like don't pay attention to the media like at all, really. And so like I'm just down here in San Diego and I hear about like, you know, the civil unrest and stuff that was happening, and I was like, nuh-uh.
Dude, it's
and then it started happening here, and I was like, oh god, it's like this is real. This is actually real.
It's real, dude. I'd Kat, she was up in I think like Seattle or something, but somewhere up near in the Northwest, which is where like shit was really hitting the fan. You know, a couple months ago.
Seattle and Portland have gone bonkers.
Dude, it's
fully
absurd.
Bonkers.
And it's so hard because like
they don't know what they're going bonkers for.
Dude, it's so hard
to
find
the problem.
It's so hard to find a middle ground on anything, because as soon as you like whether
a lot of them are just getting wild to get wild,
which is fucked up, which kills the point of protesting and stuff like that. But
there's not like a centralized focus of what we want to reform.
Yeah, I mean, like
some are, but there's more people that are just there to riot.
And I don't want to get too far into politics, but
for sure.
But like,
no doubt,
the one thing I'll say is it's just. The polarization is like what's gonna kill us. I think the fact that everyone has to pick a side. People like talk about like your side, like point a finger and be like your side. I'm like, I'm not on a fucking side. Like, you know what I mean? Like I like some of what you say, and I like some of what you say. Just be like a rational human being and like think for yourself.
Yeah, let's think objectively for a second.
Yeah, everyone just gets so like defensive against like the other, and it's like, dude, we're all fucking people. We're all just trying to like figure this out and be good people, and like. Yeah, part of me thinks a lot of it's built into like American culture. We're so competitive. Yeah. And it's so like, it's built into sports and like I don't follow any teams. Like I don't.
Yeah, you're onto something.
I feel like I'm lucky like with that. In that.
Because there's other cultures that are way more collaborative because they understand that that's how the tribe survives.
Yeah. And like
not to compete, but to get along and to share.
Dude, and it's hard because like I very much believe in like capitalism for like driving like innovation, and like that's the only way that like humans progress technologically and like economically and that sort of thing. But like
it has its place.
There's a difference between a free market for innovation and like ganging up and like social ideals and like you know, again, it's not one or the other. It's not conservative or liberal thought. It's like let's just like talk about
really
issue by issue.
Funny
like,
that we have like a black and white system for something as gray as it can fucking
dude,
be.
Imagine being
as
like,
complex and gray as everything is.
Somebody being like, yeah, what is like your way of running the country, and you have to pick red or blue.
Yeah.
Life's not on a talked about this on that other podcast we were talking about. Like life's not a straight line from point A to point B, and you have to pick on the spectrum there. Life is like a fucking 3D sphere.
Yeah.
There's all angles of everything.
And there's all kinds of different paths. A and B are the same places, but there's 1,000 different ways to crisscross and change direction.
And there's
and
other
make
dimensions.
Mistakes.
There's a Z-axis too.
Yeah.
You know, like it goes, you know what I'm saying? Like every issue you should look at, it's not just a left or right or a white and black. Like there's so many angles to everything, and it's just I fell victim to that too, like getting defensive, and you want to like point your finger and yell at people because we're all human. But
emotions have their place, but they really blind us a lot of times.
As soon as you feel threatened, that's like your animal brain tells you, you know, you gotta fight
it really narrows your perspective. And being sad, angry, can't really think, but when you're happy and
anxious, like worried,
anxious, when you're happy and or just at peace, your perspective is so much broader and more objective that you can really like empathize and see the other side. And you don't have to agree with it, but you can see it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think even
that's huge.
I think you should be able to. I forget some thought, like some quote from somebody that like the ultimate ideal is being able to entertain an idea without accepting or rejecting it.
Yeah.
Just it's like meditating, right? Like observing. You're not passing judgment on something, but just being able to like think about it and not have an emotional reaction to it. That's what politicians should be able to do. That's what, you know, like everyone should do.
You know what that's called? Maturity.
It's not, which all of us fall short on too much.
Yeah.
You know, more than we should.
Yeah. America in general.
Dude, I really think, though, our country and the whole world in general is like the past decade, like we're seeing an exponential growth in that collective maturity.
Whoa.
Like,
what's really interesting is I started having a spiritual awakening last year around September, and I was going through a lot of bad shit, but I was also having like a spiritual awakening over here. It was a true paradox where spiritually I was like awake and seeing the world for what it was, but my personal life was just crashing like the biggest, ugliest wave ever. And I had this draw to like start talking to people about tribalism, and I got really drawn into like the Native American cultures and stuff like that, and I didn't even know why. And I started to get the idea for Surf's Up, and then I had a conversation with this guy named Dylan one night. I was like, dude, I don't know what it is, but I was like, I feel like something's coming. Something big is coming. And it's not just 2020 the year. I was like, something big is coming. And I don't know if I'm like supposed to warn somebody or even what, but I feel something and it's undeniable. And it's kind of driving me a little bit bonkers, like a little bit crazy. I was starting to lose it almost.
And you just felt that like naturally? Like you just got this like feeling? Because you're right. There's a book on it.
I think that like, certain psychedelics were involved, but at the same time, I have a friend that's going through a similar awakening right now, and he's not doing the psychedelics that I was on. So I think it was natural. And I think that a lot of us have been going through it.
Dude.
And I think that the collective conscience, for all the bad in the world and all the weird shit that's happening right now, I think that whatever the universe, God, whatever it is preparing certain human beings to like to root themselves and like really know who they are, so that when we start to enter in this mess even more, we've got something strong.
Yeah.
As the human spirit. I don't even know what more else to say about it than that.
You are right, and I want to plug one book real quick for anyone out there that's a reader. There's a book called The Fourth Turning that when I graduated Syracuse.
Who's it by?
It's by, I don't remember their names. I'll have to
The Fourth Turning.
The Fourth Turning. It's by these two historians / philosophers.
Go ahead.
When I graduated, one of my last 2 capstone classes for advertising, my professor at the very last day of school at Syracuse, he was like, "Hey, if I want to I'm gonna leave you guys with one thing to take away from this class or this school, and it's to read this book, Fourth Turning. Nothing to do with advertising at all.
The book is by Neil Howe and William Strauss.
Yeah,
it's The Fourth Turning: An American Prophecy, What the Cycles of History Tell Us About America's Next Rendezvous with Destiny."
It is the densest book I've ever read. It's very historical, data-based.
When was it written?
It takes a while. 1997. And they predict, in a sentence or two, they predicted what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And showed how since a couple centuries before America, the American Revolution,
yeah.
and before the colonies started, historically, to a T, how these cycles continue every 80 to 100 years.
Yeah.
They call it a cycalum. It's Greek for a long human life.
Yeah.
Every long human life, at the end, or every 80 to 100 years, we go through these cycles of starting with a Reformation period, every national unity, after World War II was the last end of one,
and
leading up to a crisis.
What's interesting is me and the homie were talking about this in 2018, 2019. My friend David Wren, and it was when I first met him, and we started to talk about 2020. The Roaring 20s are coming.
Dude,
and what's interesting to think about it, the Roaring 20s, the actual 1920s, the actual Roaring 20s, we were just leaving, or we were still in, but World War I was still a thing.
Yeah.
But then Prohibition happened, and the Roaring 20s ended up being great for America.
Dude, but the Roaring 20s also led to
the Great Depression.
Into World War II.
Which
was the last period of
with how much money we're printing right now, it looks...
Dude, I think we are
something's coming.
The 2020 shit show that we're seeing right now is the next crisis period. Before this, it was World War II and the Great Depression into World War II. Before that, it was the Civil War. Before that, it was the American Revolution.
Yeah.
Before that, it was some other revolution in England.
Yeah.
And dude, this shit happens to a T. You can look back. They predicted Trump. They literally write a narcissistic demagogue who touts nationalism. It's scary as shit. They say something about the CDC proclaiming a new communicable virus.
You ever seen the thing with The Simpsons? How
they predicted everything?
Yeah.
Same shit.
Yeah. And the thing is pretty sure time travel is possible.
Dude, you don't even need time travel. Just give it
I've
90
seen
years
into the
and you're
future.
going to see this shit happen again. People go through
at least
the same
I
shit.
believe I have.
We just go through with different technologies, different shit on TV.
Yeah.
Different whatever we're consuming, but it's all the same patterns of collective human behavior.
Yeah.
You believe in collective trauma or inherited trauma and things like that?
Yeah.
Collective consciousness being passed down through generations.
For sure.
Right. And
no doubt.
That's what it is. It's the human consciousness, right?
It has to do with your gene expression. Joe Dispenza talks about it, and you can change your gene expression, but it does come from your parents, and it is inherited, and that's why depressed parents make depressed kids. It's a learned trait, but it also is a genetic trait.
Right. No, for
where the point where you're kind of screwed until you get some knowledge to start
it and break the cycle.
Yeah, you recognize it, you become aware of it, you get some knowledge to start taking some steps to break your mold, break your pattern.
But that's why even with every cycle of leading up to a crisis like we're in right now, I think we slowly as a human race get better and better.
Yeah.
Slightly more enlightened, slightly less violent.
Yeah.
The fact that we need to have
I think
war
the collective
for
conscious it alerts us to it, and it brings us, I don't know. The universe wanted me to start this podcast, in my opinion, to warn people about something coming. Now, I didn't want to look like a crazy person, so I didn't start the podcast right away.
First episode, the end is near.
But then it became so much more. I started learning about the paradoxes of life and the cycles of life, like you're actually talking about. That's why I called it Surf's Up Podcast, is because we're all surfers of life. And there are so many waves in this life, and all waves are different. And they're traveling at different speeds, and they're different sizes. And it's basically a wave is a circumstance in your life, whatever it may be. Your job, any circumstance in your life. It is truly, typically it repeats. Yeah. It might be a one-off, but typically,
for sure. We all go through cycles.
Yeah,
you're talking about time travel. Like the best theory of time that I've heard is of the spiral, right?
Yeah.
Like it jumps, everything repeats, but different. Yeah. It's repeating in the same area as it goes around again past it, but it's different, but it's related. It's still closer to it than it is to the other side of the circle, which might have been closer in our linear definition of time.
Yeah.
Sorry to I know it's getting super like metaphysical.
That's
shit,
fine. I actually kind of wanted it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
I don't want to just talk about hard entrepreneurial stuff.
Dude, and there's a time for that, but like it's not even just related to like psychedelics or anything like any wook shit, but it's like I think there's a real historical like a lot of scientific aspect to it.
One quote that Joe Dispenza uses is, "Science is the contemporary language of mysticism," and I love that.
Yeah.
Because it brings everything into an objective view.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, you gotta look it up.
Dude, I will. Yeah. Joe Dispenza.
Yeah.
Joe. There was another Joe you said, right? The other author. Oh no, this Jim.
Jim Quick. Yeah.
I'll get your book list.
Robert Kiyosaki with Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh yeah.
That'll really get your money mind in order.
Dude, I've read. My boss at work, like when I was on furlough, I'd asked him for some reads, and he sends me a bunch of different money books, like people that have made it big, like analyzing them, this and that. And again, it's cool. It's not like there's no aspect to that I don't appreciate or want for myself. Everyone, of course, wants more money. Like you're lying if you say you don't, but it's just, what do you want to focus on?
I want to be sustained.
I don't want to be, dude. I don't care about flashy shit in no regards. Like I don't have more respect for someone if you have a nice fucking car.
Used to not. Like now I don't need too flashy, but I like looking nice.
Dude, you know what did it for me? I went to college. I've met so many people that have money and have nice things without doing a single thing themselves. Yeah. Without being any sort of quality person in any way.
Yeah.
And I realized there's so many different ways to get money. I'm just saying money by itself means nothing to me. Like that doesn't earn my respect at all. If you started your own company, Elon Musk, infinite respect for that dude.
Oh, of course.
And deserves all his money. Like that's cool to me. But like
he is
money
cool
by itself doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It's how you do. It's what you do.
Yeah.
It's what you contribute. And it's like the music thing. I'd love to make money doing music.
Yeah.
That's not why I'm doing it though. If it happens, cool. But
I think that I think that's why you'll be successful.
Dude, hopefully. And to be honest, like meeting you guys.
You got sick beats. So.
Dude, thank you, man. Yeah. Dude, doing it all the time in front of people on the beach makes you better and better.
Yeah.
There's a certain aspect to training on your own, learning and studying and that sort of thing, but performing. Yeah. You need a certain amount of performance time.
My favorite thing is reading the book.
As well. Yeah.
I know we don't. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the book on here, but or I'm not going to show the book on here, but sharing the book and getting to present it to people.
Oh, the book.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like metaphorically the book.
No. Charlie's Gnarly Party.
Oh, I remember.
That's my performance piece, and because I'm not a stage person, but
that's
it's
dope,
something
dude.
that I really enjoy doing because I'm good at it.
And
everybody likes it.
And it's your contribution.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea with that. The Renegade Sounds thing is like, I want everyone to pitch in. I don't care what it is. I have a couple girls there that hoop, on and off. And that's beautiful. Like I can't hoop. Everybody has things that they can do that other people can't. And like, I just want a space for everyone.
And what's cool is you just go ask them, hey, can you show me? And I really like the fact of not learning from like a master, but learning from each other. Mm-hmm. There's a place for learning from masters, but
it's like the tribalism stuff we were talking about.
Yeah.
I think that really trying to help the group as a whole.
You're not
makes everybody like better.
when you can relate to the other person rather than like feeling inferior to the teacher, I feel like that's a huge point.
It was one thing that this discussion came up with me and my friends out here after all that base nectar shit, that disgusting shit that came out. And like the main thing that I think we all took away from that is you need to stop idolizing people to the point of cult like following around someone that doesn't really care about you. You know what I mean? Or can like hide behind like a fake persona and really trying to build up.
And a lot of times that power goes to that person's head.
Dude, nobody should have that much power.
Yeah.
From everything from politics to musicians to like everywhere in between. Like I don't think anyone should be idolized by millions of people that don't actually know you as a person. Like we need to get away from like that mass just funny because I work in like media, like marketing, but get away from that mass marketing sort of entertainment and lifestyle like as the main focus, and have that can be like a side thing, but so many people get caught up in like you know, top 40 and like the big celebrities and this and that. It's like that it creates monsters, and there's such a disconnect. You don't know what's real. You just want to feel talk about Vibe Street. You just want to feel what's real, man.
Yeah.
You know, just really live it and not just watch it and try to emulate it. Yeah.
So I think we can end it right there.
Dude, that's good for me, man. I can ramble on for hours, but we'll keep it at that.
Yeah. So basically, be yourself.
Dude, just be yourself.
Just like Aladdin.
Like
the genie in Aladdin.
Oh, dude.
Be yourself.
And if this is entrepreneurial, like I think you said too, like, I mean, I appreciate you saying that about me, but do something for the act of doing it first. Do something like everyone says, do what you love, but it's real. Do what you love first.
That's
and then the money will follow. Like,
that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I want this to eventually make money, but right now I'm just getting in my reps and I'm actually enjoying the shit out of it.
And even if you don't make money from this, when you're like 80 years old,
I'll still have the videos.
This is what's going to be your.
This is something I did. Dude, and how cool is this?
And this is going to matter more to you whether or not you made money than making $100,000 doing something that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It will, like in the long run.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Cool.
Good shit, man.
Where can they find you?
At Scotty Mars, pretty much Instagram.
At Scotty Mars on Instagram.
Or SoundCloud too. At Scotty Mars and Renegade Sounds.
Renegade Sounds Events.
Follow the collective movement.
At Renegade Sounds Events on Instagram. Yeah.
Good shit.
We'll catch you out there on the beach.
Yeah, OB.
Yeah.
Every other Saturday, come down.
Surf's up, Godspeed, live loud, and peace out.
Word up.
Surf's up, fam. Corey here. Thanks for tuning in to the episode. We're still growing, so we're really happy you hung in with us and made it to the end. Remember, perfection isn't the goal. Progress is. Please like, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification bell, as well as check out our Patreon link in the description if you would like to support us. We'll be seeing you in the waters of life's next swell. So prepare well and exercise your freedom. Thanks for listening, and if you have an interesting story of your own, Surf's Up would love to hear it. Email us for scheduling at surfsuppodcasts@gmail.com. Disclaimer. Surf's Up Podcast is for entertainment and inspirational purposes only. It does not endorse any of the activities discussed on the show.